In progress.
What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing on this Friday? Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm doing this on a Friday afternoon. This is Eric Brent. EB Crypto is what they call me. And I've been around here for a while talking about cryptocurrency, decentralization, the economy, the American dollar. I mean, I think I'm the first guy in South Central California, Compton by way of Compton, talking about Bitcoin, talking about Ethereum, talking about these things because from my perspective, nobody is going to come to our neighborhood and teach us about the things that's coming, like Web3, AI, these type of things, decentralization, blockchain technology. I don't see nobody coming to really teach us that. And so I'm trying my best to make that more, not trying, I'm going to use the word trying. I'm doing it. I'm making it more accessible for our people to get this information. Now, found this on the world of TikTok. I love TikTok. Oh my God. I mean, I can see why uh, some people in the government wanted to ban TikTok because there's so much information on TikTok. I know some of you guys might have seen this video. I'm going to play this video. I'm going to elaborate on it a little bit. It's just like 1 minute long. I just want to elaborate on this video and talk just a little bit. I'm going to play it right now. I'm not going to talk too much, but I'm going to go ahead and play this video so you guys can hear what Donald Trump is saying. Because as you guys all know, we're in a economic war right now as we speak, starting with this tariff war, but it's actually evolving into a full-out economic battle. So I want you guys to hear what Donald Trump said back in 1988 on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I just want you guys to listen to this.
Enemies, the enemies you can't talk to so easy. I'd make our allies pay their fair share. We're a debtor nation. Something's going to happen over the next number of years with this country because you can't keep going on losing 200 billion. And yet we let Japan come in and dump everything right into our markets and everything. It's not free trade. If you ever go to Japan right now and try to sell something, forget about it. Just forget about it. It's almost impossible. They don't have laws against it. They just make it impossible. They come over here, they sell their cars, their VCRs, they knock the hell out of our companies. Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
And I'm gonna stop it for 1 minute because I concur with what he's saying about the Asian markets. In my business courses that I took, as you guys know, I'm a former commercial real estate appraiser, and I also traded commodities on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I traded mainly currencies. So in my business courses that I had over the years, several business classes, Japan has always been a closed market as well as China. I mean, like Donald Trump said, you can do business there, but it's so unfair. They make it basically impossible for you to succeed in business. They basically, like, for instance, if you want to buy a Kawasaki or one of those companies, the government will step in and they'll do mitigate a deal between another Japanese and pretty much box you out that deal. So, as Donald Trump said, it's not illegal to do business there. They just make it almost impossible. And what China does is they basically copy your business and or steal your IP and get it to the market before you will, or just basically copy it. It's just totally unfair. They don't even play by the rules of the World Trade Organization when it comes to international business. They've never played by the rules. And so this has been like going on too long. And they do business here. They come here and they get an opportunity to do equal fair entrepreneurial in the capitalistic society here, as we have free enterprising. And they come over here and they're able to engage in equal trade, but it's not equal in their countries. It's just not. And so that's what he's talking about. And so this is 1988. Let me go ahead and finish this video.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me. I know people are talking about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever? Probably not. But I do get tired of seeing the country with. Why would you? About the enemies. The enemies you can't talk to so easy. I'd make
Okay,
a.
that's it. That's all he was talking about. It's pretty a quick clip. Now I'm gonna stop sharing from this point. I just want to say this. It's kind of funny how he was Oprah and Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, all of them was kind of cool with uh Donald Trump back in the 80s and 90s. He loaned a lot of money to black businesses, and he was a Democrat. And so was Elon Musk. They was Democrats for the longest. And they didn't become the enemy until they turned Republican. Now, this video is not about Republican or Democrat. I'm just making a point. 1988, Donald Trump was saying if he that the United States should do something in accord to these tariffs. He's to make it more fair, and not allow China to have and the Asian markets to have such advantages and to tax us and we not tax them, or to engage in unequal business practices in their countries, but then come here and participate in equal business practices. So if you like Donald Trump or don't, this video is not about Donald Trump. This video is about this man has been standing 10 toes down for 40 years. He hasn't changed. Like him or don't like him, whatever your opinion is about him, he has not changed. He's been consistent. And that's one thing I respect about him, is because he's a businessman and he wrote a book called The Art of the Deal. And I read that book, and I would think he is the master of a deal. He's the best equipped to do this deal than anybody else in this country. So the art of the deal, if you read that book, you'll see him making these strategic moves, which he should make. Now, I'm going to share with you guys right now something else I want to share, which is this um, chart. Will show you guys pretty much how things are going and have been going. I think you guys can see it now right here. Uh, this chart is something else. It's interesting. Let me shrink my thing here, or shrink me down so you can see the chart here. How do I close my thing? Here it is. Let me close me up. Now, I was looking at this. This is interesting. I never saw this until Donald Trump bought this out. But again, this has been going on for 40, 50 years in this country. And look at Algeria. Algeria got 59% taxes on every product from America that comes in, but we only charge them 30%. Oman, okay, it's over there in Arabia somewhere. Oman is an Arab country, I believe. They they're charging us 10%. We charge them 10%. Okay, that's fair. 10%. Uruguay, we charge them 10%. They charge us 10%. Bahamas 10%. We charge them 10%. Losotro, 99% they charging us. We only charge them 50%. And it looks like most of the countries that's charging us 10%, we charge them 10%. Here's Mauritius, Mauritius, they're charging us 80%, we only charge them 40%. Fiji, 63% they're charging us. And I kind of understand why this is this way, because you got to remember one thing. United States makes up, I believe, 30% of the entire world's consumerism. We're the largest importer of any country in the world. We got the big bucks. So if you travel like I travel, whenever I go to Colombia, Dominican, or any country, my price is not the same because I'm American. And as soon as they hear your accent and know that you're from America, your price is going to be different. Trust me. And this exploited type of mindset is permeates throughout the world. And so Donald Trump is sitting on, you know what? Let's even the playing field here. Now, whatever you charge me, I'm gonna charge you. And for instance, China, I don't think China's gonna back down. I think right now we're seeing the beginning of a huge economic battle. I don't know how it's going to end. I do know one thing, that is opportunity right now. There's a lot of opportunity for people who understand economics or want to learn economics. Now, I'm always one who promotes learn economics right now. This is the time you should learn about money, learn about global trade, learn about decentralization, centralization, learn about AI, learn about cryptocurrency, blockchain technology. This is the time to learn these things, because there used to be a time where you didn't really have to know about money. And today, the American dollar is still the big dog, the dominant dollar in the world. But things are changing so rapidly. And even the dollar is right now uh, being punished by inflation, and we all are feeling the brunt of the burden of inflation, and it's at an all time high. So somebody's got to put this stuff in check. It's not going to be a fun ride. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The next couple of years will be pretty rough. We're going to feel it because we do receive so many of our goods from Asia, and they're not gonna give. I don't think they're gonna bow down to Donald Trump because right now there's a standoff of egos going on. So when we went up on them 34%, China decided, well, we're gonna go up 84%. So then now Trump is up to 125%. Tariffs have never been a good idea in economics, period. Tariffs have never been a good idea. Most times, tariffs, wars, lead to war. If you study history, tariff wars have always led into a war, a real war, a physical war. So it's not looking good right now. It's not looking good at all. So China, over the last 20 years, 30 years, have increased their manufacturing. And China right now is at a surplus, meaning that, like, for instance, America, we have 80% of our products imported and only maybe 20 to 15% exported. So we're at a deficit. Our export import is at a deficit. China is actually at a surplus. So meaning that the 80% of their manufacturing is exported and only maybe 15 to 20% is imported. So they right now are really depending on the United States dollar. Now they can go to Africa, do some trade. They can do some trade over in Arabia and Europe. But remember, although America is only 5% of the world's population, we make up over 30% of the global trade, of the consumerism, of the buys, of the buy market. So it's really going to hurt them to have all of this manufacturing, and they've increased their manufacturing to a point where they actually have more products in China than they can sell, even if they still had America on board. There's more products there than they can sell. That's why you see the Timus and the Sheins and the Alibabas and all these companies. Okay, and there's even more, but everybody know these companies for sure: the Timus and the Sheins, because I know that in Dominican they use Timu and Shein a lot. But in retrospect, this move is really going to hurt China more than it's going to hurt us. Now we're going to feel it because, again, like I said, most of our products do come from China. We're going to feel it, and I think a lot of the swap meets will be closing soon because most of those swap meets, of course, are Asians who, basically sell Asian products. So how are they going to get their products? It's not going to be cost effective. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to watch this thing out. But again, you guys need to position yourselves because somebody is always making some money somewhere, and you need to learn how to be one of them no matter what happens. Now, there is an opportunity here if you understand what's going on. There's a lot of opportunities that will be evolving from this obstacles of what's going on with the Chinese markets and what's going on with global trade around the world. Now, most of the countries, I think Donald Trump is going to do a simple 10%. They want to negotiate. There's so many countries want to negotiate right now with America because, again, we are the big dog in the consumer market. We are the ones that everybody wants, that American dollar, because that American dollar is so strong and powerful. Everybody wants that dollar. So they don't want to really no smoke. Well, how they say, they don't want smoke. They don't want no smoke with America. So but China is not gonna they're not gonna give. I don't think so. I think it's gonna end up really becoming a battle economically. Already, I see something on the news this morning where China is saying Americans can come over there for free. They're not going to charge you a visa. You can go there for free, stay for 28 hours, and do all the shopping you want. But the question is, how you gonna get it back? And say you do go there and shop, you still got to get it back. I mean, they're getting desperate. They're getting desperate. There's manufacturing's closing over there. They're getting desperate. But I think that the president over there should just basically should just bow down because you're going to give up 30% of your country's um, income at a time when you're already struggling to distribute the overproduction of products that you already have. I mean, sometimes you gotta you humble yourself, but pride, the Bible says pride goeth before destruction. So um, I don't see him bowing down because it makes him look weak in the eyes of his constituents. And Donald Trump looks like the tough guy. So again, this is not about Donald Trump. This is not about Biden, or I'm not in political right now. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about economics. So my YouTube channel is Family Cash Machine. Follow the money. So right now, this is taking a very interesting turn to me because we're at a standoff with China, and I think we'll be heading towards a 2 or 3 or 400% increase, and that is definitely not going to work for China. And you'll see more of their stores shutting down, more of their manufacturing shutting down. And it's really hurting the people there. I have nothing against Chinese people. Chinese people are not the problem here. It's the Chinese government and the tactics of how they do business unfairly with America. And they have been doing unfair business for so long. And if you really look at China, China is beautiful. They have prospered, I mean, tremendously off America over the last 30, 40 years. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, China was still on bicycles. Now, when you look at China, I mean, a train system versus our train system here, you look at New York trains or Atlanta trains and a Chicago train versus China's train system, it don't even compare. And when you look at their city, when you look at, how beautiful and it looked like something out of the Wizard of Oz or something. I mean, it's gorgeous, and even their military have exceeded tremendously, and they've taken a lot of the income and trillions of dollars that they've been making off of America and beefing up their military to where now they're really a global threat. Period. In fact, I think I heard Pete Hegseth. I don't. I'm probably butchering his name. Pete Hegseth. I believe I heard him say that the Pentagon did several war scenarios, several different scenarios, and in all their scenarios, China won. I was like, wow. So, I mean, I know America, we have a lot of stuff. We got some stuff here, but this is the time right now you guys should be learning about how money works because those that understand are going to make a killing. Remember, during the Great Depression and all of the recessions made more millionaires than any other time in history. This is a time of opportunity. Now, when Donald Trump said the other day, buy, and they're trying to say, well, he was giving a tip to his friends, it was insider trading. I don't want to hear that because right now we're at a period in our government where so many congressmen, Democrat and Republicans, are guilty of insider trading. This is why a congressman only makes 200,000 a year, and Nancy Pelosi is worth 60, 70 something million. Jasmine Crockett, I believe, she's a lawyer. Her law firm only made $26,000. Her law firm, but she's worth $9 million, and she only makes like $200,000 as a congresswoman. So I mean, and most of her wealth is in her portfolio. So again, they all are guilty of that. I don't think that was what Donald Trump was doing. I think he was giving a symbol to the little guys because Donald Trump's already a multi-billionaire. He's actually lost more money being a president than he could have made not being a president. So he's actually opposite of all the other presidents who went from being a 1 or 2 million to 80 million. Most of the presidents, if you look at their financials, they actually made 100 times more money being president. Not the case for Donald Trump. He's actually lost money being the president because remember he has businesses that he has not been able to attend to. So he's actually losing to be the president. So the economics is just not making sense. But I think that sign was for you guys, for us, buy. He was telling us right now is an opportunity. Like I told you guys, I bought with $79 last week. I bought over 32,000 of this particular coin when the market was hot. I think I bought with $1,300, only 3,500 coins. Do you see that? I made I made so much money in the down market. I bought 32,000 of the same coin at $79 of the coin that I bought for $1,300 and only had 3,500. You see that? So even though I haven't sold these coins yet, I'm making more money because I you make the money in the buy. You don't make the money in the sell. Everybody think you make money in the sell. No, you make the money in the buy. So if you buy low and sell high, this is the name of the game. So this is why he was saying buy right now. Because buying right now, the markets are crashed. A lot of markets have crashed. I expect real estate to crash soon. I'm a real estate appraiser, a former real estate appraiser, commercial appraiser. I expect real estate to do a dip really maybe this summer or so. It's definitely going to dip. So this is the time to position yourself, but you got to learn something about economics. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, there's a book I got out called The Greatest Exchange of Wealth in History. It's available. If you guys want to get that book, click below. I'll have a link where you guys can contact me and get a hold of that book, which showing you guys and teaching you guys all about Web3, all about, how to position yourself in this unique time that we live in to tap into one of the greatest exchanges of wealth happening in the world. And there's never been a time like this. And you are very, very fortunate to be living at this time. And although there's a lot of bad happening, there's positive and negative at all times. So there's a lot of good things opening up as well. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out, you guys. I think I'm gonna be doing a question and answer period tomorrow. I'll be sending out a link. All those that want to ask questions about how Web3 is working, AI, how we can make money with AI, blockchain technology, any questions you got about blockchain technology or cryptocurrency, I'm going to be available to answer these questions tomorrow. I'll send a link out to a webinar if you want to ask any kind of questions. I'll probably be doing two different webinars next week. One tomorrow for sure, but I'll be doing another one probably Tuesday or Wednesday, opening up to the public for dialogue on how you can position yourself for what I'm calling one of the greatest exchanges of wealth in history ever. Okay? All right, you guys. Peace.